We will go to consent with all consent items. One, approve meeting minutes from May 11th, 2026, common council meeting. Number two, receive May monthly ambulance report. Three, receive May monthly payments report. Four, receive May monthly building permit report. Five, mayoral appointment of Dave Moon to the at-large alderperson seat. And number six, approve 2026-2027 liquor, beer, wine, and cigarette licenses.
Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Bauer,
Second.
second by Maris. Anything further on consent agenda? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Welcome back, Dave Moon.
Thanks. I'm kind of stupid. I'll play some. Do we know if you qualified? I guess I should have asked that before I went.
Thousands of people have asked that question all over the town for years.
You just play musical chairs. Thank you, Dave. Glad to have you. And we'll move to general business. Item one, approve tonight first reading and set public hearing on July 27th, 2026 for resolution 4600-26, partial discontinuance of public way, Booster Boulevard. Max.
Gotta swear him in.
Oh, I gotta swear.
Yeah.
We better backtrack.
I wondered about that.
We better do this quick. It's official, Dave.
All right, we're right here.
Want to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dave Moon,
I, Dave Moon,
having been appointed to the office of alderperson,
have been appointed to the office of alderperson,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof.
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof.
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Now officially welcome back to board, Dave. Sorry about that. Now welcome to board, Dave. Okay, I will go over general business item number one again. Approve tonight first reading and set public hearing for July 27th, 2026, resolution 4600-26, partial discontinuance of public way, Booster Boulevard. Max.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is just to set it for public hearing in the first reading. Last month, the Plan Commission approved a variance for Foremost Farms down on Booster Boulevard to do an expansion project. As a part of that variance, they allowed Foremost to build within the right of way. And those improvements are now basically in city property. So as a part of basically the variance and as a result of that, the city is going to transfer that land to Foremost so that they own the land that they're building their improvements on. As a part of that transfer, the city will be able to, or Foremost or any subsequent owner will be required to give it back to the city in the event that those improvements are no longer being used. But as a part of that transfer, we have to then partially discontinue or narrow Booster Boulevard. It doesn't go into the actual roadway. It's more the sidewalk area. So in terms of vehicular traffic, there won't be any issues. And there'll still be a walkway on the south side of the road. So this is, as a part of the ordinance, this is it requires class 3 notice, so there'll be 3 notices in the paper. And then the hearing will be on July 27th.
Any questions for Matt?
Yeah, forgive me for not, I usually like to do my questions before meeting and make a call, but
Sure.
I just looked at it on the surface, I assume that's what it was. It was just basically taking up the sidewalk and the frontage between the sidewalk and the curb.
Correct.
You're not actually cutting into the street or anything.
Nope, the road will stay, so the whole right of way will be narrowed, but the actual street itself will remain the same.
Okay. Now, I know we do utility easements and such. Would there, would it have been a little cleaner or convenient to do a physical easement of some type? So
Sure, we had some discussions with Foremost on that, and as a part of basically their internals, it was better for them to do it this way. The city is retaining easements to be able to have easements in that area, even though they'll own it. We actually don't need them. There are no current utilities that will be taken up in the area that we're actually transferring. But we did have some discussions and it was foremost friends to own the land, and I think it might have had to do with some financing issue. But from the city's perspectives, because we're gonna get it back in the event that the use is over, I think in the end, it's the same result.
Fine. Any other questions? If not, I'll take a motion to set public hearing.
Move set public hearing.
Motion by Peterson, seconded by Hyde. Any further? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll have that public hearing on July 27th, 2026. Thank you. Item 2 under general business is approved and I web fund grant request, Westside Elementary, Reedsburg School District, playground equipment replacement. The floor is yours.
Oh, thanks. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Jackie Quaker. I am the principal of Westside Elementary. This is my first year as the principal there. Tomorrow will be the full year, and I'm in a great year. From the start, kind of pulled up my sleeves and we went at it over at Westside. We had some improvements to make, and most of our improvements were made through fundraising efforts. As you know, the budget has been pretty tight in the district, and the winter was pretty tough on our playground equipment. So we're looking for a grant to fund replacing actually our playground equipment. This is not playground equipment that we want to add cosmetics, add to. It is actually, we have to tear it down. It is the end of its lifespan and has been deemed unsafe at this point. So seeking an $80,000 grant, and then we would be committing to 25% of that to add a new playground to Westside. Can you move the next
slide, Jake. Sorry, move in.
Like I said, it's 25 years. It lasted a long time. This was through Gerber Equipment, and they're actually one of the individuals that gave us a bid. I was very surprised that it's 30% of the cost of your equipment for them to install. And because we're a school district, your insurance typically requires you to do so. And that's why it has lasted so long. It really did last a long time. Structurally, a lot of it is strong, like our posts are very strong, but we've had to remove a number of the items due to like the rubber pieces have come off. Children, have burns on their hands because there's no rubber components. We've taken that off. We've had to remove a bridge. And we're actually adding our all-day 4K next year. We add another section. So we have younger students at our school that are utilizing the playground all day. So we need to make sure that we can meet the needs of our youngest learners as well, since play is so important. And I'm a firm believer in play at this age level, as well as my staff. See there, that's our bridge. Right now, it's just open. Students have been pretty creative, but not the safest thing. Thankfully, we don't have our youngest ones going on that, and our staff is wonderful at keeping them off. But again, it's not a cosmetic upgrade. This is definitely just more of a safety intervention. Regardless, it's going to have to come down, and then we will have, 100 students, 120 students out there playing on the one piece of equipment that we have. See there, we've done a lot of things over the years. These are just some of the minor things. Our maintenance staff is lovely. They come as soon as I call them. They have patched up our slides for many years, is my understanding. And we're at the point where they can't be patched up anymore. So we've definitely done our due diligence as trying to save money, do what we can. But both companies said there's really not much you can do at this point. They're just, they're not meant to last forever. And like I said, it's been 25 years. So right now we're at a 5 to 12 age playground equipment. This is our main equipment right in the center, if you're familiar with Westside. We also have 2 swing structures that are no longer compliant for safety standards. So there's a number of things we have to change on there. And it's not an inclusive playground as well. So when it was originally installed, it wasn't made for students with disabilities. And again, I'm a firm believer in inclusive playgrounds and everything inclusive for all of our students to make sure that everyone has equal access. So that's really important. And it's not just for our students at Westside. We have a number of neighboring communities or neighbors that use that area. We have a soccer net that we installed over there, and that is used every single weekend. Of course, the baseball field is often used, and sometimes we have to look at cameras just to see, okay, what's going on. I cannot believe the amount of families that use that playground and area on the weekends. It's incredible. So they always come in that back pathway, and you just see numbers of families, which is lovely. That's exactly what we want. but I also want to make sure it's safe for everyone. So this was kind of one of the designs. This is by the original company. This would be a retrofit that they quoted us. We said to stay within that 60,000 range because we have to consider also we have to take it down somehow. So thankfully, you know, I know people and I look at a lot of familiar faces in here. I'm like, it's just someone's got a skid loader in here to pop these out. But those are all things that come at cost. We have to have to make sure that we meet the safety standards. We have to, you know, extend as much mulch as we have. There's a lot of different things that are involved in this. This has involved a lot of research, a lot of time. But now we're just short on that cash to make sure our students have equal opportunities at their other schools. We did get two proposals. Burke is another company that has really great equipment over at Webb Park. That is a Burke playground and a real reputable company. And then Landscape Structures, that is Gerber. That's both are Wisconsin companies as well that did two different designs, very similar prices, both, you know, standards, follow the safety standards and also operate on that 30% installation. So I was really hopeful I can get it come down, but I got a few discounts with one of them, as much sweet talking as I could do. So this is our cost. Westside, it takes us a lot to raise money. I mean, we're a school of 220 students and 64% of our families are low income. So we hate to ask for fundraising. We hate to ask for money because we know money is tight, but they are the most involved families of any school I've ever worked with. It is absolutely incredible. And our staff, I mean, they go above and beyond. It's absolutely incredible. Today, we're able to host a carnival for students through those fundraising efforts because we always say everything goes back to the kids. And it was the most beautiful day ever, even though the kids couldn't be outside because it was supposed to rain today. We stayed inside and we made the best of it, and staff was absolutely great with the kids. So we have most of the money there. We already have our first fundraiser ready for September. The difference between the two companies was really their timeline. The one company can't get in until fall to do things, and the other company could get in as soon as July, August. Just because of their availability and know how important it is for us to start the school year off for our students to have something to plan outside. Of course, looking at recognition, this would be a huge asset, and we would think the Web Fund's impact would be huge for us to make sure we can make sure students have what they need. Students go out for recess 3 times a day. And then our 4K students, this will be the first time that they will be going out for recess. So that playground will be rocking all day long. So constantly being used. And that's really where we have a lot of our gatherings with families as well, because we just have that small gym and we can't all fit. So rain or shine, we're outside, and that is the space that everyone uses over at Westside. We would go above and beyond. Those that don't know me, I'm kind of over the top. I do things kind of grand. So definitely would make sure that the Web Fund and the City Council is recognized for their contribution if this were to move forward as well. So pretty urgent need, regardless, I'm going to have it come down. And then we have just the one playground structure, which only allows about 40 students at a time. Yes, there are things I can do. You know, we can get little diggers and stuff, but that's not going to make us through the winter. And then I'm not sure what we're going to do. So, you know, the biggest thing is we want to make sure it's safe. We want to make sure students in their first years of education have the best opportunities they can, especially here at in Reedsburg. My family just moved here back 2 years ago, and my little girl actually goes to Westside too. And I want her to have a great experience. You know, just like every other child there, I say, I love you. You know, every single time they get off the bus, they're hugging. They're just wonderful, wonderful children. And I want to make sure they have a great experience here at Reedsburg. So that's really all I have for you. I appreciate you listening and taking into consideration our grant proposal.
Any questions for Jackie?
Mulch or the base?
For now we are, it is this year we didn't do mulch, we just got rain. So we did the ground because we were trying to save as much money as we could, and it worked. We would like to do the base. It's quite expensive. Quite expensive. So right now, the most important thing is for us to get some equipment that children can use. And that could be the next phase. I would love to do that down the road. But right now that's just not in our budget.
Any other questions? Good job, Jackie.
Thank you.
Not every day you have a slide go for an application. Love it. Discussion.
What's the balance? There's
227 currently with 100,000 committed, so 127.
Okay, you want, I'll make it.
Oh, sorry. There's 227,000 currently, but there's 100,000 committed to RACA, right? Or what project, sorry?
Yeah, to the.
And so there's
flood.
currently 127,000.
And they're asking for 60.
Yes.
So.
Do you think when was the last time we drew from that account?
Last year. Let me pull it up here.
Lovely.
Could either been tree lighting or the new memorial in Wet Park.
Oh,
We've done Plankies recently too.
yep.
The Planters parking lot.
Memorial's planning on coming back, right?
I think they're right up. They're dedicating that on
I saw.
July
but I
4th.
thought they planned to come back.
I have the same memory.
I think they have like a phase 2 that they maybe like to do.
like down the road.
Not that we're committed to anything.
Right. Right. Questions? Comments?
I think we all like, I think we know what Webb wanted, but he already invested in a school and in a park, so it seems that this fits both of those categories.
Definitely checks off the criteria.
You know, I think of when we have our comprehensive outdoor recreation plan, I mean, we kind of take credit and take advantage of the school facilities and equipment. This is a busy part of town. My kids play in that park and Little League and all kinds of stuff. So with that, I would make a motion to approve it.
Motion by Peterson,
I'll second.
seconded by Schulte. Anything further? I will add to Phil's statement there that, I live over there. I can see the park basically from my house and there's always, kids there, always. Which is good because it's a safe, secure location. It's fenced in. So yeah, definitely a worthy project. I agree. Aaron?
I just want to comment that while the school district is its own entity and the city is its own entity, there is obviously a lot of back and forth. We've had real good partnership over the years with being able to use soccer fields and being able to use baseball facilities. And so I just want to bring that to attention as well.
That's a very good point, Aaron. Yep, been a great relationship. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'd like to echo that partnership that we have with the school district. I mean, first of all, there's precedent. It was probably 2008 or 2009. Web fund was used for playground equipment at South School. And you know, and this partnership continues because the community uses it when school's not in session. And late 90s, early 2000s, when my kids were smaller and I was coaching basketball, I think I held all of my practices in the West Side Gym, part of the Reedsburg area youth basketball program.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a very legitimate and appropriate partnership, and it's more of a responsibility and a duty to go through with this.
Well, a motion and a second to approve. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Now.
Now you can breathe a sigh of relief. All right, recommendations from boards, committees and commissions. Number one, recommendation from the Plan Commission approved tonight resolution 4598-26. Certified survey map, lot 1 of East 6391 Bass Road, 040-0767-00000. Brian.
This is a requirement, you know, mine, I could all, both, and the DSM, the divided property, it's pretty self-explanatory, and then second part is the rezone commercial. But government, with Winfield would build the new town hall there. You're not improving town hall, you're improving the zoning, wouldn't love to do that, so. And commission has recommended approval of both.
So, all right, we're gonna go with number one first, because there's a public hearing we'll have here after this. Questions? Brian mentioned the Plan Commission definitely approved this, pretty, the ET is definitely in favor of it, so, pretty much no brainer.
Well,
Motion,
it's not my commission, but again, I mentioned this the last time when this came up, you know, with regard to Winfield needing to move the, you know, to have a new town hall, and this is, you know, this is a very neighborly thing to do for them, and it's, you know, certainly, you know, it's a responsibility we need to take seriously. I mean, there's been EP issues in the past and what have you. And things that have gone on beyond with either city or school issues, you know, between the city and the township. But we just, you know, in spite of all that, we've always been good partners and good neighbors. And this is simply the right thing to do by the town of Winfield.
is that in the form of a motion?
Yes, it is.
Motion by Dietrich. Seconded by Hyde. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, recommendation from the Plan Commission, public hearing for ordinance number 1986-26. Rezoning lot 1 at E 6391 Bass Road, 042-0767-00000 from agriculture to government for new Winfield Town Hall. I will take public hearing. Anyone wish to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1986-26? Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1986-26? Final call. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1986-26? Hearing no one, I'll close the public hearing, take it back to council.
Make motion that we approve ordinance 1986-26.
Motion by Hyde. Seconded by Maris. Anything further? Jake, roll call whenever you're ready.
Mayor's, Hyde,
Aye.
Schulte,
Aye.
Dietrich,
Aye.
Moon,
Aye.
Friends,
Aye.
Peterson,
Aye.
Coomer, Bauer.
Aye.
Thanks.
All right, 9-9. Thank you very much. Number 4, recommendation from Plan Commission, approve and deny resolution 4599-26, final plat for My Home Estates Phase 3, 276-1379-00000. Brian.
Just for the 3 duplexes that are currently under construction, so they would be divided by a 0 lot line, and then 2 future ones as well. Are part of the 5 lots, so currently 5 lots for this plan. Plan Commission again recommends approval.
Questions for Brian? Thanks, Brian. Take it back to council. Comments, questions, or I'll take a motion.
Make motion, please.
Motion by Maris. Second by Schulte. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, recommendation from the Public Works of resolution number 4601-6. Compliance maintenance annual report, CMAR, wastewater treatment plant. This is like the first one I'm doing this. It's exciting every time I get to listen to this. To make sure it flows the right way.
So this, if you're not familiar with this, is basically a report card for the treatment plan for the 2025 calendar year. So Chris at the plant manager, we go through, there's a bunch of pages that's in your pack. We have to go through and put all the information in, and it gives you a grade. So the first, I'm just gonna go over the highlights on that last page. So the influent, flow and loading, so that's what's coming to the plant. We get a grade F for that because there's more coming into the plant than the plant is rated to handle. So that's the reason why
That's the reason we have cranes out on the east side of town, right?
I mean, between the dairy operations, increasing flow and the growth of the city, if the plant's just too small. So that's what we get an F for that. The effluent be so the next 4, the BOD, TSF, suspended solids, ammonia, phosphorus. Those are all things that are on our permit that Chris has to do it. We test on that every day in the lab. So we have to meet certain criteria every day for those limits. That's on our permit. So we got a grade A. Basically, we never exceeded the limit on our permit throughout the whole year. If you exceed the limit, then you get deducted. So that's why, so we have grade A's on those. quality management, that's the solids that you may see our tractor and our spreader that we, in the fall and the spring, that we take out, so that's the management of the solid. We get an A for that. Staffing, that you have enough staff to operate the plant. They look at, the size of the plant and how much staff you should have. And then operator certification, so the people working down there have to have state certifications. They have to have schooling every year, to be certified. And we're all up to speed on that, so we got an A with that, and then financial management. Good with Jacob helping us with the finances and an A for that, and then the collection system. That's all the pipes are out in the streets that collect the sewer, it takes it to the plant. So we have it's basically like a book that we had to create that say, what we do for response for sewer backups. We have a sewer backup. How much do we clean the sewers every year? Things like that. What kind of equipment do we have? So we receive an A for that. So overall, we got a 3.68, which is what I think we've had the last 3 or 4 years. So the guys are doing a really good job down at the existing plant for what we take in. And the DNR requires a resolution every year, but the council to approve that. So I got.
Yeah, it's been, really well ran. It's nice to see that, the really only thing that you're being dinged for is something that's being fixed.
Yeah, we can't control
No.
the influence. But it's a good thing because it means the city's growing. And
Yep.
the industries are foremost is doing an expand.
We wouldn't be able to do that if we weren't in the position that we're in. Yeah. Very good. Any questions for Steve? Thanks, Steve. Take a motion if one's in order to approve it.
I would just add that the job that Chris has done and all the staff down there catching up on all their education and certifications has just been outstanding. Like Steve said, it is what it is right now because the influence, but with that, I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Peterson,
Second.
seconded by Dietrich. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And while you're there, Steve, number 6, recommendation from Public Works to reading of that public hearing for July 12th, 2026, ordinance number 1987-26, changing stop signs on South Viking Drive and Commercial Ave to all-way stop.
Okay, this was so on that new road, South Viking Drive, first one, and we set it up the way it is now, where it's basically a 2-way, and commercial coming from the south doesn't stop. So we thought we'd try that. I looked and there hasn't been any severe accidents that we know of. But we've gotten a lot of requests. I've gotten at least 4. I know the police chief has gotten quite a few requests.
I've got a couple calls about that too.
I'm sure you probably have about. So we thought that best was just to make it an all-way, because sometimes people come up. We have signs, but they don't know who's supposed to stop and who's not stopping. And then if you're coming from the north, there's a right turn, no stop. So it can be a little confusing. So we thought maybe the best, Public Works thought the best was to just make it an all-way stop, and we'll see how that works.
No confusion that way. You just stop.
Exactly, everyone just gotta stop. So,
Any questions for Steve? Go ahead, John.
I've only been on for a year and I've received at least 4 calls about it. My wife worked it. And she's put it up in because they want to know. Even realize I was on council, I was back on city council, but she asked, what can be done about this? Because there's a lot of confusion and some misunderstandings, exactly what it is, like with the traffic flow. And, spoiler alert for how I feel about this, there's always industrial. If somebody with a heavy load is want to go north and head up the hill, there's work.
Go ahead, Aaron.
One of the issues for for me at that intersection is, when you're going more or less straight, the arrow points more right. And I've been at that intersection with some of them turning into the parking lot instead of, I don't know if there's a way to make that arrow at a 45-degree angle.
An angle.
I understand
How do you know,
what
it's just
you're,
the standard arrows that they put in there when they did
I
that.
hear that. It's,
We were gonna, that one section of, by DRM, you know, where the, where we tied in the old road. I was thinking of possibly steel coating that, you know, starting to get, now that it's getting used a lot, it's getting a little, the asphalt, you know, be good to get that built before it crumble. And then we cover up those lines that paint it. So we could, but there is a different arrow that you can put in it, at the rough fight. So.
Question for Steve, go ahead.
We'd have to probably go through, we'd have to, you know, get the paint up and probably paint a stop bar and do some painting, but it's not gonna be right away, but it'll be a little while.
Any other questions for Steve? Thank you. Motion by Beach, step up hearing. Seconded by Moon. Anything further from council? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll have that public hearing on July 12th. Commission Committee Board and Staff Reports, Airport Commission. Do you have anything come out of airport?
Just over the plan. Talk about the driving.
And a side note, one heck of showing for the drivers, this was, oh my gosh, awesome stuff. Perfect weather for it. Commission, we meet tomorrow and we voted, you guys voted on what we talked about at our last meeting. Library.
Thursday, the note library is open during construction of the programming, going for this,
Correct.
Parks and Rec met, we basically met, gave some presentations about, such.
Public Work.
Public Works met last week also, and there was the two items we have, linked to CMAR and stuff.
Seymour. The commission.
On the 18th, my first meeting, so I had a nice welcome, this is a good group of people. The electric crews have been out, the meters, replacing poles, light bases on the Vine Street reconstruction project. Electric crews also assisted with the Prairie Ridge School's annual egg shop. It's pretty cool, I know my kids have done that, got a lot of good reaction out of that. Department is pouring water meter testing and, let's see, the drinking water consumer equipment. Yeah, completed and available. The Reedsburg utility website.
Very good. Thank you. Zoning Board of Appeals. Hey. Historic preservation, while you're at it, Aaron.
Yeah, so we are continuing to discuss and think about what it might look like if we were to get a history museum. Obviously, the beginning phases of that for a very long project, so you'll probably get sick of hearing me talk about it, but kind of getting our bearings on the vision that we want to see. The next meeting, we're actually gonna hold downstairs in our archives. Everybody, we welcome to go. But we'll be going through kind of stuff that we have, so we can get an idea forward about the things that we want to have and maybe some of the things that might be slightly declined. So on board with heading in that direction.
Thank you. Any other committee, commission, staff under, I remember anything you want to report? Office of the Mayor, we kind of touched on it, the flying driving breakfast was excellently ran and very well attended, like very well, like super attended. I think, I was thinking back as I was there and I think I see more planes there this year than I probably have since I was a kid. I mean, back when I was a kid, I was parked on the runway or off the runway with the vehicles and it was lined with planes. I remember, I bet they had probably 30, 40 planes there. I was there about 9:30 and Also, they had a car show, and there's a lot of people that were happy to be there, and some people hadn't been to the airport before. I talked to my son's baby, so it's the first time they've been flying, and their kids had a good time, so. Other than that, I can't think on the top of my head. So we will go around the horse show and we'll go to full session. Dan Bauer.
School is going to be out for, maybe, some kids already. So as a little, that say, when we're driving around town, there's been kids on bikes, maybe not paying a ton of attention. Just watch out for the kids and try to show them a little grace. So by the time we meet next, Butterfest will be coming.
You can bring it up.
Yeah, but I just want to put a plug in for these things. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We have the burgers, and this is ability to raise money to spend.
No, I'm gonna interrupt with that, because yeah, Butterfest comes before we meet for sure, and the parade is huge, you know, they got a lot of the carnival, the Lions burgers, the Boy Scout walking tacos and nachos, and you definitely want to hit all that up, with all, everybody that watches this afterwards, Butterfest. I know I get a lot of people that want to be straight in front about it. A lot of people say it's not what it used to be, but just because it isn't what it used to be doesn't mean it can't be something more spectacular than what it used to be. And they're working feverishly to do that, and they're doing great things to do that. So make sure everybody gets up and patronizes the Butterfest and make it continue to be the success that it is. Missy.
Thank you.
Dave Boone.
Saturday is the Sauk County Dairy Breakfast serving from 7 to 11 at Windy Ridge Dairy Farm. So if you find yourself somewhere between Lime Ridge and Hill Point, stop at my aunt and uncle's farm and have a good time, and I'll be there doing whatever they tell me to do.
I bet you're gonna be one busy land that day.
It's gonna be big.
It'll go by quick. Next, up there.
Not for me.
Jake from City Hall.
Nothing tonight.
And Dietrich. Jason Schulten. Sonny Hine. Ward Maris, you got something?
I do.
Oh, there we go.
So there's, no, I don't have one. So, come to the family fun night, Butterfest. I'm setting up a racetrack, we're gonna do cock races. So we're gonna have people cocking in a race,
Cool.
and then cleaning it off, and
I like it.
we're gonna be measuring how much you waste at the end. And judge a winner, and I'm gonna give some. Those of you who don't know, I work for Habitat, we're gonna give some race for things for winners, gift cards or whatever I remember to do that day. So, yeah, come by and it'll be a fun cock race.
I love it. Anything else? All right, I will take a motion. I'm gonna read this first to go into closed session related to potential floor improvements to the Reedsburg Field House per section 19.85 sub 1 sub E of the Wisconsin statutes. The common council will consider entering closed session for the purpose of deliberating and negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing in public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session. The common council may take action relating to potential floor improvements of the Reedsburg House after we reach an open session. I'll take a motion to go to closed session. So motion by Dietrich.
Okay.
Seconded by Hyde. One of you. We'll go with Hyde. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll take a couple minutes. Thanks, everyone. So.